Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. We are here to talk about the Python Viper. Good morning, Michael Gene Fleming. Thank you for joining us this morning. I appreciate it. I need to get some more of those designations from you to update the ones that you shared with me at Joe Fest, Michael Gene Fleming. We'll have to figure out how to get those to me. Uh, I appreciate you giving me the previous ones, so I need to get some updated ones. Good morning, Sean Jones. Sean Jones, I think that is. Good morning, Sean Jones. Thank you for joining us. So yes, we're going to be talking about the Python Viper. The last video we talked about the Python Bat, and now we're going to go into the Viper. The Viper did have a previous incarnation in the vintage A Real American Hero era from Hasbro in the 80s. Again, they had their first appearance in A Real American Hero number 88 from Larry Hama, Marvel Comics in the 80s. They had all the different Python characters in that. And again, in the Operation Dragonfire, Cobra Commander created a device that could take python snakes and use that and put it on the vehicles and the armaments of the troopers and so on. So he did that in Operation Dragonfire. And so there was not much in Dan's books about the history of G.I. Joe on Python Patrol, but Carson did show the figure packages of the original Real American Hero G.I. Joe Python Patrol packages. So we're going to go into the Viper, and there is the Viper package, the original package there from the 80s. I really liked the color scheme on all these. There's some red, there's some like canary yellow, there's some green, there's some gray, some black. So it mixed all these different characters that were in Python Patrol. Kind of mixed and matched all that color scheme. Then they had like this like grid that they used that was the Python pattern, stuff like that. And I like that pattern. I think it looked really cool. I think it was a really interesting subgroup of G.I. Joe. And the intent for these type of groups like Tiger Force and Python Patrol is to re-release figures that had gone out of the market and to try to represent them in a new way for people to get. So if you missed the Viper, then you can get the Python Viper. If you missed Copperhead, you can get another Copperhead, and so on and so forth. The same with the Tiger Force. So we are going to go in over my first version of my Python Patrol Viper. Now I don't have all the accessories for this. I just have his gun, but I do have the Python Viper. And he's a pretty tight figure. And he's mostly gray with a little yellow, a little bit of red. He's got red goggles, red face plate, and so on. But he looks really cool. I like the gridding, like I said, on these. And I think I think they did a really good job with this. And then there's his gun. This gun does not look like it's the right gun for him, but that's the gun I have with him, so I guess maybe it is. I'm looking at the one that I have in this this card art to see if it's similar. It's slightly different, so I don't think that's his original gun, but I'm gonna put it on him anyways. So there you go. Python Viper. All right. So we're going to get into the classified version of the Python Viper. And like I've said previously, all these videos, these are all being opened from scratch for the first time, never been opened before, and we're doing it in the order of the numbering. So this is number 42. So it is the next number in the order. The only time we're going to deviate from that number is if it's a vintage package character, which we will be doing vintage package characters every 5 videos. So we did 40 and then we did the vintage Baroness. We're going to do 45, then we'll do Lady J, and so on and so forth. And that'll spread all the vintage packages. And then if we get an oddball thing like Fortnite Snake Eyes, we will seed them in where I feel that they fit. The same goes for the 60th anniversary and the legacy figures. We'll seed them in as I deem where they belong, deem the space where I think they should go. All right, so we have again, we have this really cool back package art that has like the jungle and this facility that they're in, and some sort of temple and some different scanning screens. We have this beautiful Viper art that was on the previous Viper package that kind of rolls around to there, although they changed the color scheme like they did with the bat, and they made it more Python Patrol design color scheme with reds and yellows and so on. And then we have the designations. So let's see what designations this Viper has. It's probably going to be similar to what the previous Viper had, but we will go through it and we'll see what we can find. Let's see. We have light weapons. We have hand-to-hand combat. We have foot soldier, and we have that looks like all we have on my list. But there's also another one here that is a it looks like a moon with a star and in a circle. So I'm not sure what that one is. But so far, we've been getting most of them. I just need to update these to get all the ones that are missing that I haven't been able to find yet. So that's why I was asking Michael Gene Fleming for that help, since he helped me with the other ones. All right, so we're opening this for the first time. Again, it has the Python insignia on there, and we have the Python artwork in the background that has the back artwork behind that artwork. It's a really cool logo, I must say. I enjoy the updated logo for the Python Patrol. Like, they did a really good job. I love these pieces of art that they put on the back of the packages. So we're going to put that down there. We're all done. And then we're going to take the Viper out of this package. Now, let's see if I can find the Viper. We can use him. Hold on just a minute. See if I can find the Viper in my pile here. I should have had it already. Where is the Viper? Is this the Viper? Nope, that's Zartan. Give me a second. I'm going to try and get the Viper out so I can compare this Viper to that Viper. Where is it? about it. All right, so here's the regular Viper, and we're going to compare it to this Viper. So we'll have both of them to show you. Um, all right, so they kept the Viper pretty close to the vintage version, right? The only weird thing was the backpacks. I'm having problems with these backpacks, and that goes with the reports that have been stated previously that the backpacks were very difficult to stay on. And remember, these videos are 5 years after, so I'm starting a little bit over with all of this stuff for everybody. Michael Gene Fleming, in an interview, if a current guide can be provided, I'm not sure. You're in an interview if a current guide can be provided. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there, Michael. I appreciate it though. So let's see. Let's go get back to this. So there's the regular Viper, and there's the Python Viper. There. Check the comment above. All right, I'm checking the comment above. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. I apologize. So there's the Viper, the Python Viper, and there's the regular Viper. You can see that they've changed. They've changed. The body is pretty much the same. They just changed the deco. So there you go. Let's just put him down. And so he's slightly different than the original figure. He's got a secondary that's kind of over his chest plate there, and so there's two layers there, and there's a lot of deco on this red and yellow stuff. They took the silver out and they replaced it with some black and yellow, and they put the red faceplate like the vintage one. There's a Cobra logo right there, a little red Cobra logo. They have the gridding on him like they do with the vintage one, stuff like that. They have lots of pouches. It's basically the same secondary that's on this one. They just redecoed it with different color scheme, and use more yellow and black. So that's pretty much what they did with this. They kept the same figure almost entirely. Everything looks very similar to me. It's just they changed all the deco on it to the Python deco. He does not have the scarf with him, and he does not have the he does have the goggles though. He does have the goggles. He doesn't have the scarf. So all the articulation points are the same articulation points. He's got the butterfly shoulders. He's got the double elbows. He's got the, let's see if he has the wrist. No, he doesn't have the new wrist articulation yet, but he has the hand articulation there. He's got, let's see, these gauntlets that are on the side of his arms, that are kind of like secondaries. He's got the sheath on this leg, on the left leg, black. On the previous one, the same color. He's got the double pin knees, the foot rockers, but he does not have the second ankle swivel there. He does have the thigh swivel. He has the calf swivel. He's got you can feel that he has the chest articulation, but he's got the secondary on there. So it kind of inhibits a lot of movement in that. He has the same crotch articulation, same head articulation. So I'm guessing you could possibly remove this head and switch it out if you wanted to a different Viper. And we're going to be getting other Vipers down the road. So we're going to have lots of different Vipers. All right, so I'm going to put the regular Viper over here for the time being. And then I'm going to put this Viper here. I'm going to get his backpack out. We'll look at that. So let's compare these two backpacks. Let's see. The backpack is the same backpack. They just changed the deco on it. So that has the Cobra red logo in the center, and it has yellow and gray deco hits on there, whereas this one is red and gray with a little blue. So the backpack's pretty much the same. It's just got different deco. Now let's see how this stays in his back. He's got some greeble on the back there for like technology or whatever. So I'm guessing it is part of his secondary. And then the backpack plugs right into that. And that's a much better fit than the other Viper backpack. This one's a lot more looser. This is tighter. This is the same as the bat, the Python bat, where the backpack is much tighter, and it's solid. So I think that's interesting. Maybe they took that into account when they did the previous figures where people had complaints about the backpacks. So let's see what else he gets. All right, he gets the pistol, which is going to go into the holster on his left leg, like the other Viper. It's all black. There, goes into there. Exactly the same as the Viper. Then he has a cartridge. Looks like this cartridge is going to plug into his rifle. There. And that's the same as the other Viper as well. And then his rifle. There's his rifle. There's all kinds of greeble and technology and stuff on that. There's no colored hits or anything. No deco on that. So we're going to plug in the cartridge, the ammo cartridge, to this. There it is in. So I put that in there. And then I'm going to put that in his hand. See if we can get that in his hand. And he has his rifle. And then this hand probably could go on the other part of the rifle. Let's see if we can get that at an angle where he can do that. I'll try. Yep, I got it. So there you go. So I have his rifle in his hands on both sides. And the cartridge in the rifle, and everything is on him so far. And then we only have one thing left. We have his goggles. Now on the regular Viper, the goggles don't stay on very well. So excuse this noise here. I'm going to put that over there. So here's his goggles with the red deco hit on the glasses part there. So we're going to try and put that on him. The Viper does not stay on very well, so it's still in the bag where I had stashed it. I'm going to try to get this to stay on. Hopefully it will. Let's see. Got it on there, but it's a little cockeyed. Let's see. All right, so I got the goggles on there. But again, they don't stay on very well. It would have been better if they had just sculpted the goggles on, but I kind of got it over his mask a little bit. I don't particularly care for that. I'll probably adjust that. It's kind of like they're supposed to be like night vision goggles or whatever. I don't know. But they don't stay on very easily. So they'll probably end up going off. I'll probably end up taking them off. But I've got it on there pretty good right now. So this is a really cool one. Like I said in the bat video, the previous one with the bat, I like the color deco of these, and they really complement the color scheme for the original classic figures as well. They just updated them slightly, changed some of their clothing a little bit, and they adjusted the deco to match some of that, which is fine. So that makes it so it's not a one-for-one exact copy of the vintage. I like a lot of the gridding and stuff they have on the boots and the knee pads and the side of the clothing with the gridding, the padding and stuff, to make this a little bit more tactical, a little bit more environmental type gear, where he's out in the field. You don't know what he's going to come across. He's got to be prepared. It looks really good, though. I like it. I think it's very nice. I like this yellow. I wouldn't call it canary yellow. Call it a little bit more like cadmium yellow or something like that. But there's also some technological stuff on the helmet, on the sides, and on the top. I like the layering. Again, the layering, they do such a good job with that layering, where it looks like it's real, like you would have baggy fatigues and stuff like that, and all the greeble that's on his chest plate, even though it's been painted slightly different, it looks pretty good. But like I said before, this one doesn't have the neckerchief type part that one does, so he's slightly different. But most of this is, I would say, 100% the exact same Viper, with the exception of the handkerchief and the decoing of him. But he looks really good. I think they did a good job. But like I said in the previous video, a lot of these Python patrols, I really liked them. I thought they were a really cool deco design aesthetic for these. And I like the snake gridding that they put on there. It makes it unique, similar to the Tiger Force with the tiger stripes and stuff like that on some of the Tiger Force. These ones have that snake gridding that makes it look really cool. Overall, I think it was a good update from the vintage to the classified. And most of the ones after this, I think they kept pretty close to that. I look forward to seeing if they ever do some of the 2000 Python Patrol to see if they change any of that up, if they do release any of those, because there's like a Croc Master Python Patrol, and there's some other ones. There's like Major Blood and different Vipers that gets the treatment of Python Patrol that's slightly different, and there's more orange rather than the maroon and the yellow and the gray and the green. So I'm curious if we ever get some of those characters in that deco, if they look better uh, in classified. Like these kind of look a little bit better in classified, and they're changing them slightly too. I wonder if they would add new characters like they did with the Bat, because that was the first time they did the Bat as a Python Patrol. So I guess that does it for this video. If you guys have any questions, you want to ask me some questions while I'm on here now about Python Patrol, I'll see if I can answer some of those questions for you. There's a lot of Python Patrol coming, so we will be able to talk more about that. And hopefully, Michael Gene Fleming, if you want to reach me to talk to me after, you can reach me on Messenger, David T. Allen, and ask me what you're trying to ask me. I'm not sure exactly what you're trying to say, but I apologize for that. So we got my snake eyes and polar bears coming soon, and we will be doing a video talking about that and this trench viper behind me here that my vipers are standing in front of, and some other upcoming stuff coming out soon. I got some more Hiya figures coming in the mail soon, and so I want to thank everybody that has joined me this morning in the chat. Not a lot of you because this is a little early, but I appreciate it anyways. Everybody that watches after the fact, I hope you're enjoying these videos. I'm glad that it's showing you something different and unique. These videos, they're 5 years after the initial releases of these characters and these toys. So there's a definite different perspective that I'm bringing to this that may not have been brought to in the initial releases, because we're contrasting and comparing as much vintage with the current classified, and then checking out other variations of classified and comic book and animation and so forth. So we're doing a big deep dive into a lot of these figures and these characters. So if there's something that you're interested to learn or find out about, please ask. I'll be glad to try to answer those questions and give you guys as much information for these characters and these versions of characters as I can. That's why we go into Dan Klingensmith's books with a lot of this stuff. So if he ever does another version of his series, I'm trying to get him to do like an omnibus version that has all the missing stuff that he didn't have, if he has some artwork or some history behind those. And that'll be cool. Again, I want to say thank you. And we will see you guys in the next one. And this is another Cobra one. So we're going to go, Hail Cobra, Python Patrol. We'll see you next time. Take care.